Our eighth finalist is also from New York City. Please welcome Lauren Washington and Angel Davis. Ladies, how are you? Nice to see you. Nice, it's glad to have you up here. You nervous?
We're excited.
Excited?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm just going to let you go.
Okay.
Go.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Angel Davis, co-founder of KeepUp. I work as a marketing strategy consultant with experience in media and operations.
And I'm Lauren Washington, also co-founder of KeepUp with over 10 years experience in online media and big data analytics. And we're here today to present to you KeepUp, a personal assistant tool that is going to revolutionize your relationship with social media.
So what does your average day on social media look like? I know for myself, I'm tweeting, I'm posting, I'm liking, I'm commenting, I'm going to my Facebook page trying to make sure I stay in touch with what's happening. I may go to Twitter and see what's trending. Sometimes I'll go to Instagram and see what my friends have for breakfast. What about you, Lauren?
I know I am jumping from page to page, app to app, trying to figure out what's going on in the world and our friends' lives. And sometimes I might come across a couple cat videos or two.
It's true, and this happens periodically throughout the day, and that's because social media has become an integral part of our lives. It's in our biological nature to be social, and outside of the traditional methods, there are over 100 sites that allow us to do just that. And we all do it. About 73% of us are on social networking sites. Right now, there are 1 billion users on Facebook, over 1 billion users, and that's just one site. 42% of us are on 3 or more social sites at one time. And this is overwhelming. That's a lot of information to manage. We spend 3 hours of our waking day on social sites each day. That corresponds to about 54,000 words of content. That's about a novel each day. And those cat videos that Lauren mentioned, you spend over an hour watching them every day. And that's a lot. And we're all figuring out different ways to cope. This is an actual post from one of our actual social networks, and I promise you that it's not staged. It reads, "I've decided once again that the world of Facebook is too overwhelming for me, so as of tomorrow, I'm gonna be getting out of here." And his friend responds, "Oh no, sorry I can't keep up with you now." The interesting thing here is that he overlooks the fact that his friend in his original post offers his phone number and email address as ways to stay in contact with him. Instead, he basically just sees this person as no longer a part of his daily routine. So taking a break means missing out. We are tethered to these social sites. We've come to rely on them. On one hand, about 2/3 of Facebook users say that they use the site in order to keep in contact with friends and family. On the other side, it's a lot of information and we can become overwhelmed. About 67% of us said we're afraid of FOMO, or fear of missing out. And currently, there is no solution to this overarching, overwhelming, widespread problem, which is ridiculous until now. Introducing to you KeepUp, a social media manager that lets you take back your life from social media without missing out on the truly important events in your friends' and family's lives. By tracking 12 life events over 6 social sites, you'll never miss the announcement of a birthday, engagement, or a friend's new job ever again. KeepUp really is your personal assistant for your social media life. Through our technology, we use unique algorithms and queries and access the APIs of your social platforms, scrape them for keywords and event data, and through our tool, you're provided with a curated, automated experience, making it indispensable to optimizing your daily routine. So on the back end, while our technology automates your experience, the front end, our user interface, offers you the opportunity to personalize that experience with our killer features. Our central newsfeed, individual profiles, and calendar view essentially serve as the window into your social media life. With additional features, you can really get in control by setting notifications of what events you want to be notified of and when. You can send messages either in-app, in your actual device, so you can send a text message, or on the actual platform, you can post the original comment. And you can even send cards or tokens to your friends to commemorate their events. And depending on how much information you want through our tool, you can dial that up or down by choosing which platforms to track, which of your friends you actually want to track, and of course, you can track on any device you like, whether that's your mobile, your smartwatch, or your tablet.
KeepUp is uniquely positioned within the marketplace to offer something to users that no other tool out there provides. We all know the Facebook birthday reminder apps that try to cut through that clutter, but it only focuses on one occasion. There are the to-do apps that you have to manually input occasions into, and then there are those productivity apps that pull in so much information that they can sometimes be overwhelming in and of themselves. KeepUp is the only option out there that allows you to cut through that social media clutter and automate the many occasions that you want. Long term, KeepUp wants to put the power in the user's hands. Right now, we have already created a minimum viable product that has been approved on the Apple Store. Our next phase is really where we want to spread out into all different devices. We want to build up our features and functionality by releasing fast and iterating, and then we also want to bring in gamification into the site so that our users have a reason to come back and stay engaged. But what's really exciting is the future of KeepUp, where we plan to build a data marketplace. This data marketplace will show a comprehensive customer journey across all different social media sites, something that doesn't exist right now. And by opting into KeepUp, our users are also able to opt into this data marketplace where they can pick and choose the type of data that they want to sell to data buyers who are really looking for this. There are millions of people out there who need something like KeepUp. By looking at the overall US internet users of 251 million, culling that down to those who are on 2 or more sites, have over 100 friends, and have left social media every now and then, indicating that they have social fatigue, we put our core target base at 32 million people. But that's just in the US. Globally, there are 2.93 billion people who are on social media sites. Taking that, we actually see KeepUp's global opportunity at 360 million people. So how do we reach all of these different people? We have a 4-phase marketing approach. The first is discovery, where we will optimize on the App Store and search engines. We'd also like to put some of our budget towards public relations so we can spread the word out. But our real competitive edge is in growth hacking. So using the power of our advocates to spread the word for us and build that trust to their friends. We also plan to incorporate corporate partnerships where we will partner with these different companies that our users already trust and love and build up that added value for them. So our revenue growth also grows alongside our users. And more importantly, as our users grow, the value that they can command within the marketplace also grows. And what makes us unique in the app market space is that we can monetize from day one with upgrades like the calendar that Angel mentioned earlier. We also can add in in-app purchases like the cards and gifts. And when we build up our network, we can command a premium among advertisers for our engaged users. Add in that data marketplace I talked about earlier, and that puts KeepUp's projected revenue at $250 million by 2019. There are many people within the industry who are demanding solutions like KeepUp. All across the board, we've seen Facebook, Apple, Salesforce, and Shutterfly purchasing companies with the same capabilities that KeepUp has. So if you award us this $500,000, we can ensure that we will be first to market with innovative features and a back-end structure, build our first-class team, create market buzz and an engaged user base, and operate for the next 14 months. But we're here to compete for that 1 million. And if you give us that, we can extend our operations out 18 months, add in the multiple device access and the data marketplace we spoke about, and do all of that with faster ROI, less risk, and higher impact. We believe that KeepUp is 43North and Buffalo's fastest realization of their ROI. Thank you for your time and attention.
Nice job.
Thank you.
This is going to be a tough one for you because we happen to have one of the world's foremost resident experts on building audience in the social media world. You know, as the founder and creator of Huffington Post, BuzzFeed, The Dodo. No, well, that's Twitter, see, but yeah, he was just an investor. You were the starter, so it's a little different. So we're going to have Ken Lair ask the first question because the man has built an audience now at BuzzFeed that's now exceeding 200 million users, all in the social web, so I think he's probably got some interesting questions.
I don't know, I'm thinking. I don't have any great questions. I mean, good job, it's very interesting. Building a brand online is very difficult. So how are you going to build a brand? I saw the marketing idea, but probably the toughest thing in the world. You could have a great idea, but then building a brand that everybody knows about is tough.
I think the core of building a brand is looking into who your users are and really delivering for them. So as we mentioned, this is a solution for people who are fatigued with social media, but need it and feel it's essential. So by focusing in on our core target and really making sure we do the correct psychographics and market research and hone in on what they really need, it's about delivering to them, and they will help us build our brand. As Lauren mentioned, they're going to be our advocates, and they're going to be the ones who accelerate us to the top. Not to mention, once we win the million, 43North is going to shoot us to the top.
So this is already out in the App Store?
So we built our minimum viable product, and we were approved by the App Store. We heard about 43North actually at the same time that we were about to launch, so we decided to hold off on that, use the money that we get here, hopefully the 1 million, to build a bigger, better product for our users.
And who's the tech person?
So I know Objective-C, and we had an interim CTO with us who we will be replacing in the next phase of our project. And so we really want to use most of the money that comes in towards bringing in that first-class team and making sure that we can have someone who has the experience to help us build this product out.
Got it. Great. Thanks.
Okay, we have another very, very astute investor in this sector. Bijan, he was the first investor in Twitter, and they sort of got a big audience. And they did it all through social media. So I think maybe he's going to ask you an interesting question here. Bij? Actually, he did a better job growing Draw Something, but that's a different story.
No, really great job. I guess my question is, the idea I think is very interesting and very cool, but it looks like it can do a lot. There's a lot of things here, and I think the things that we've seen that work the best are things that you can really boil down to the essence, and like what is the one thing you're going to do better than anybody else? Because when I think about a lot of these networks, Twitter built lists. It's not a very popular feature. Facebook has a way to create different friend networks. Google Plus has these circles, and when you start overwhelming users with all these choices, it tends not to be it tends not to resonate as well. So I think the problem everyone can kind of relate to. But then the thing is, how do you deliver this thing that just you do better than anybody else? And given this matrix of capabilities, what do you think that needs to be?
Yeah, so we completely agree with you, and we believe that the best businesses are the ones that have that core functionality and focus on something. And our focus really is the social media clutter. And so we are focused on going through, scraping through those ideas, and bringing something that will allow people to organize and use social media better. That's really what we're focused on in the first couple of phases of our launch. The data marketplace, the gamification that we spoke about, that's later. We want to make sure that we're the best at that.
Right. And when you talk about our features, it's really two-pronged. It's the back end where we're going in and really smartly looking through your social sites. And then on the front end, delivering that news feed that is efficient and, again, optimizes your daily routine of keeping up with your friends and families. What's really important, and I just want to know those things. And that, the back end and the front end is really how we deliver that.
Okay. Randall, 50 million online readers. Obviously built a very gigantic audience this way. What do you want to ask them?
I think the audience, could be there. I'll be a user as soon as you roll it out. I think it's great. I do want to ask about the revenue, in that your product is essentially for people who want to be a little less engaged with social media. And you're saying, so how do you monetize people who, by definition, by using your product, are saying, I want a little less, I want to engage less with my social media?
I don't know that they want to engage less. I think they want to engage on the right things. And that's what we're pulling out. We're pulling out those events that are the most important to them. It's the reason why they join social sites, so they can follow their friends. In terms of the monetization of it, we have been seeing that mobile apps are growing incredibly in terms of their monetization. Facebook just posted their quarterly numbers, and 60% of their revenue came from mobile app advertising. And so if you have a product that people love and use and go back to over and over again, advertisers see that as an engaged user, and that's what we're trying to create.
Well, it's not just an engaged user, but it's a focused user, and part of the reason Facebook, so how are you going to be able to identify, because Facebook can sell advertising to left-handed Buffalo Bills fans who like Duff's more than the Anchor Bar. They can micro-target how are you guys going to do that, given that you're more of an aggregator than necessarily knowing the exact profile of your user?
I think it goes back to that comprehensive social journey that we spoke about. So there's no solution out there that you can see a customer as a single person going from Facebook over to Twitter, over to LinkedIn, and tracking that. That doesn't exist. And with our product, we're able to pull that in, and users are able to, advertisers actually are able to tap into that.
David, we're letting you off the hook on this one, by the way.
That's perfect.
You've been carrying a very heavy load for us. Before I get to you, you guys just launched One Buffalo, and you used it on a platform called Rebel Mouse, by the way. And Rebel Mouse is all about bringing the social web into one place, right? So what can you're building an audience for your sports properties here in Buffalo. What do you think they can do for us?
Are you asking my question?
I'm asking the question. I'm trying to help you out here.
Oh, I had questions already said.
I was getting a commercial in for Rebel Mouse since Kenny and I own the company.
Okay,
So we were trying to help that out.
Happy to help you out. No, like I said, a great presentation. Obviously I'm a big user of we have 3 children, so they're also big users as well. Was there a science behind the 6 sites that you said that you want to download? Why not 3? Why not 12?
These are the biggest sites, essentially, and it goes, across what people use and where people are. So Facebook, is an obvious place to begin. You have Google+, you have Instagram, you have LinkedIn, and you have all of these sites that, again, kind of attract different users all on their own. But again, you can be overwhelmed in each of these different sites.
So you can change it so if it's only 2 you want to follow?
Yeah, exactly.
But the max is 6? Or you can go beyond 6?
Right now, the max is 6, and we would love to expand if that makes sense for us. I think the question is, what do we do with Pinterest? What do we do with Flickr? And once the technology expands where we can look through photos and accurately track those, we'll be adding those in as well, because those are sites that obviously have a lot of engagement in users.
Okay. Is the user, once they download the app, how much of it is their engagement? How much can they customize besides, I know you showed the words that they can search and which app to use, but beyond that, is there more, what part of the consumer can they change and make it more
So the essence of the app is to, again, be your personal assistant and pretty much take the work away from you. But again, all of our features are pretty much customizable. So again, you can decide if you want to obtain notifications on different events and when you want to obtain those notifications. You can decide your platforms. You can even go down and decide which friends you want to track. So I don't want to track, all 1,000 of my Facebook friends. I only want to track these people because I live in California and they live in New York. So I want to keep in touch with them. So it's very customizable, but again, the out-of-the-box platform is, automated for you.
Esther, you've been chomping at the bit to ask questions, so I'm leaving this to you now.
Okay, so I'm curious about your CTO because, as you know, Facebook and Twitter and all these companies are putting in all kinds of algorithms to do fundamentally what you're doing. What they don't have is the ability to do it across the other apps. But it's very much an arms race. People don't use the minimal customizations features that Facebook gives them. They complain about having too many friends, but they don't get rid of them. In other words, you're asking them to do a lot of by-hand customization, and you may want to do more through algorithms, but then you're going to need an amazing CTO who leaves Facebook because you offer more opportunity or something like that. So I'm curious do you have your CTO? Where do they come from, or what are you looking for?
Great question.
So as I mentioned, we already had an interim CTO who was really excited about the project, not ready to move to the next phase. We're in talks already with people who are incredibly excited about this. This is sort of a CTO's dream. It's to build something that users want, that users need, and that lets them run with their creativity a little bit as well. So we are far along in that process, and we understand the importance of that. And 43North will allow us to bring in the best and the brightest.
Yeah, because you'll need the Dr. Sandler.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I just have one. Am I allowed to not ask a question? But so when you go out and try to raise funds in the future, I think your revenue numbers are way off, and you need to take a look at that because they don't resonate with me. So you should go back to the drawing board and bring them down a ton.
Okay.
They're just too high. And they don't need to be that high to raise money.
Right.
And then surprise your investors on the positive side.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, they just don't ring true, so take them way down.
Great. Good advice.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Hold on, don't leave. So how did it go?
It went very well, I think.
Yeah, as you had hoped?
Exactly how I hoped, yeah.
So you already a winner. So you're coming to Buffalo. Have you looked around? Where are you going to live?
We're looking at Elmwood Village,
Oh,
Allentown.
shocking. Good.
Not surprising.
Oh, yeah? Great. You got a good realtor?
Not
There's
yet.
a few in the audience that might want to come and attack you
Talk to them
before you leave.
after.
Well,
Yeah,
thanks
that'd
for
be
doing this. It was
Thank you.
great. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself. Be well. Thanks.